Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Irresistible and I'm a manifestation and soul alignment coach. My channel is geared towards helping you become your highest potential so that you can create and live the extraordinary life that is your birthright. In today's video, I'll be talking about when you should use 4D versus 5D approaches to manifesting. But before we get started, just a quick reminder that I offer both email and video coaching. So if you need help in manifesting any of your desires or in releasing any of your blocks, you definitely want to check out all my coaching options. They are in the description below. And I'd like to invite you to subscribe to my channel and hit the bell icon if you'd like to receive a notification anytime I upload a new video. So if you've been following me for a while, you know that I talk about two different approaches to manifesting because I believe that both of them work really well, and I have personally used both, and I personally think that you should always have the option. I'm never going to come in and tell you, oh yeah, you just need to do 5D approach and the 4D doesn't work, because ultimately we all function differently. We all have different experiences. We all resonate with different things. This is the way the world works. So I always give you these options, and having had experience with both, I definitely talk about both, and I definitely encourage you to explore what works for you. Let me quickly explain what is the difference between 4D and 5D. I have spoken extensively about that in a video. I will link it above. You can definitely watch that video. But in brief, 4D approach to manifesting is using the mind to manifest. So you might say, well, you're always using the mind to manifest. Not necessarily though. The mind, when we're talking about the mind, we're talking about a combination of the subconscious and the conscious mind. So what you're doing is impressing new empowering assumptions into your subconscious mind and controlling your opposing thoughts. Actually, controlling your opposing thoughts is important in both 4D and 5D. But you're kind of in 4D impressing a new story so that your conscious thoughts will become more aligned. Because if you're having difficulty controlling your conscious thoughts, definitely 4D is the approach for you. So 4D is impressing a new story into your subconscious mind, using affirmations, using journaling, scripting, so any form of repetition, and or using visualization. You're visualizing and allowing that to go into your subconscious mind so that it manifests. That is 4D. It's working through the mind. And ultimately, the way the mind works, the more there is a surplus of an empowering assumption over opposing thoughts, the more you're gonna reprogram your mind. The more your opposing thoughts are taking over, the more you're gonna continue with the old story. I talk extensively about how the subconscious mind works in this video called How to Trick Your Subconscious Mind into Believing the New Story. I will link it above. I explain all that in a lot of detail, so definitely watch that if you have not already watched it. And even if you've already watched it, I highly recommend you watch it again, because that is what you're doing when you're repeating affirmations or when you're visualizing. You're impressing into the subconscious mind, and then that has to manifest. So that is working through 4D. Now, working through 5D is not really dealing with the mind. It's transcending the mind altogether. In 5D, you are claiming a new identity. You are here. You are recognizing yourself as the operant power, and then shifting from the state of not having, or the identity of not having your desire, to the identity of having that desire. So if you are in lack, you don't have the money, you're here. In B, you have the money. If you are not in a loving relationship, this is A, you're gonna move into B, having the loving relationship. When you're doing 4D, you're working at the beliefs level. which ultimately impact your conscious thoughts. So every identity has its own corresponding beliefs, thoughts, emotions, and actions. And when you are impressing a new story, you're working at this level in 4D. You're working on impressing a new belief system that corresponds or matches your desires. And so automatically you're gonna have it reflect in a new identity and then a new story, a new reality, a new physical reality. So ultimately, you're literally upgrading your subconscious mind. You're literally upgrading your belief systems so that they match your desire. In 5D, you are not in mind whatsoever. You are here. You're the operant power. You realize you're the operant power. You realize that even my subconscious mind, I can literally shift into a new identity which has a brand new subconscious mind that goes with it. So it's subconscious beliefs that go with that. You're literally jumping into a new version of yourself. You're claiming that in this moment, because actually in every single moment, you are shifting realities and a new version of yourself is showing up with a brand new beliefs, thoughts, emotions, and actions. And in that, you're not working through mind. You're transcending the mind altogether. You're not even having to worry about all the beliefs that you have been conditioned with. You're transcending it altogether because you know that by claiming identity B, you're no longer going to have the beliefs, thoughts, emotions, and actions of A. You're claiming B, right? You're jumping into B. So there's no work involved, no affirmations, no visualizations. The one thing you need to do is not be identified with your thoughts. So if you are someone who is heavily in an unconscious state where your thoughts are just taking over, I recommend you go into 4D approach of manifesting, because then you're going to be impressing a new story and then that impacts your conscious thoughts as well. Obviously, anytime you're repeating affirmations, they're overriding the opposing thoughts that you're thinking. So that you're saturating your mind, it's always going to be about creating a surplus of affirmations or scripting or whatever, so that it counterbalances the opposing thoughts. But if you are someone who's able to just notice the thoughts as they are happening and not engage with them, then by all means you can do the 5D approach to manifesting. You don't need to override. You notice the thought and you release it. Here it all boils down to your ability to notice a limiting thought or assumption or an opposing thought as it's happening. And I explain what an opposing thought is in a specific video. I will link it above. An opposing thought is any thought that contradicts your desired outcome. It's not necessarily negative. It's just opposing your desire. It's not aligned with your desire. So when it comes to 5D approach, it's you are someone who is able to bring yourself into presence very easily. I mean, you can get yourself into that state. That's what I do with my clients who are doing identity shifting. I help them get into that state of presence. I tell them you have to practice presence. Whenever there's a thought, just release it. Whatever that thought is, even if it's a positive thought, it's about not being in your mind, because when you practice not being in your mind, you're able to practice being in presence exactly in the same way Eckhart Tolle talks about it in the book, The Power of Now. It's about being in presence and not allowing your thoughts to take over. It's not being in your mind and having the awareness when it does happen. So we're human, we're gonna have thoughts. It's just about catching yourself as it's happening. So if you're able to do that, then the 5D approach would be fantastic for you. And again, even if you are used to doing things through 4D, you can practice going into the 5D method of manifesting. You can absolutely do that through practice and practicing being present. So catching your thoughts as they're happening and just going back into mindfulness and presence. So this is in a nutshell when you need to choose 4D over 5D. It's all about preference. You may be able to catch yourself, but you're someone who likes doing things, doing techniques. So by all means do 4D. In the end, sometimes we just resonate with doing something versus not doing anything, because in 5D, there's nothing you need to do. No techniques, right? You set the intention and you claim it and you just don't oppose it. You practice being present. But some people just feel they need to do something. So that is also for you to decide. It all depends on what you resonate with. I hope this explains when to use what. Again, there's nothing wrong with choosing one or the other or mixing a little bit. So I had one client, she's mostly doing 5D, and every now and then she may affirm just to boost herself. But if your thoughts are overtaking, then definitely 4D is the method for you. I hope you liked this video. If you did, then please like, comment, and share. And I look forward to seeing you again in the next video.